This is Shelly from Locs Unlocked. I am doing a repair day, or days. I don't think it's going to take more than one day. But I've already done this part. And when I say repair, there are some locks that I literally just two-strand twist, like when I joined them many years ago, or many months ago, and I didn't get to the point where I actually sewed them together, so they kind of just look like random two-strand twists. So I've been going through and examining each lock and making sure they're just healthy and hanging on. And I actually am going to leave them two-strand twisted for probably the rest of the summer because it's hot. And when they're still fairly small, so I can pin them up if I need to in different ways. Maintenance, I have this, let's see. It's like a crochet hook. It says 0.75, but it's like a really small crochet hook for smaller locks. I think I have a 0.5 or something like that as well. Yes, a 0.5. I have one more as well, but I'm not sure what that is. But I just usually use those to put the hair back in the lock. I definitely show the back because my hair grows out of my locks a lot in the back. If you can see back there, it's like just an afro. So it's a lot of cleaning up back there. The front is fairly easy, so I started with that because it just kind of matured or been tamed to separate. So I literally just been working through these since I've been working today. Perks working from home. So I'm gonna just finish this side, and then when I get to the back, I'm gonna do a few shots. And if I find another set of locks that I've two-strand twisted sometime in the past, putting 4 locks into two-strand twists. So I literally have just been going and grabbing 4. That are pretty close to each other, like these 4 probably are. Again, spray a little water. And I comb the new growth away and run my finger across the part. And then I comb my new growth in here and do the same thing. And so don't let the popping scare you. Just don't be too rough with your hair. So once I have those 4, I'll pin it down because my hair is frizzy and curly, and it'll hop right back over there. So I have this oil. I use extra miracle oil, sealing oil. I put that in there because my hair gets real thirsty. And not so much because I'm doing it throughout my hair. Just kind of comb it through. Try to make that water and oil become best friends. And then, so you clean up the locks one by one. It don't take a lot. As you can see, there's like no buildup. It's just enough to wet the lock with the braid lock and twist gel. I haven't seen any buildup, but again, I don't get happy with this stuff. And the reason why I take my time too is because I look for the pattern of where I was twisting it. So this one was going this way. I can tell from the pattern. So I comb it up so make sure there are no holes. Yeah, pin them straight up. That way I can style them anyway. I want to later. If you lay them down one way or the other, then it kind of puts a strain. You start switching sides and stuff. So I'm putting this down so that the twist stays to the scalp and there's like no air there, because then the hair will start untwisting or unraveling. And it's just like you would if you were doing a scissors twist. Hey guys, so remember I wanted to talk about the back of my hair and how my hair grows out of my locks. This is a good example. Even when I was getting interlocked, it would do this. And so what was happening was the person or persons who were doing the retightening, they literally would just, I don't know what they were doing, but they were just retighten it. They weren't trying to pay attention to the fact that the hair is hanging out. And then when I would run my fingers back there, it would be just tangled. And that's really what lets me get an undercut. So I want to show you this one, because this is probably the most drastic one. So my hair is locked all the way up into there. The rest of that is new growth. But you see this hair is as long as that. I don't know where this hair comes from, why it does that. But it does. And it's quite annoying. This is also one of the 2-strand twists that I probably had in there forever. And there's another one that is like split. So this is part of my repair day. It's like really just going ahead and putting them together so I'm not walking around with random rubber bands in my hair. So yeah. So the first thing I'll do, I'll take care of this one first. Get the rest of those out of the way. Is get my handy dandy needle. Can you see it? Yeah. This is like a, I guess I don't know. I used to use it for when I did like sew-ins. I try to make the thread about 3 times as long as the lock. Just so I don't run out of thread at the end. And so I start from the top. Because if you start from the bottom, what happens is you may end up with a hole. So you may get to the top and you like, sewed everything and then it's looking like that at the top. But if you start from the top, you know that this is tight and then you can close it off at the bottom. Because remember, holes is your enemy. You don't want to get locks all the way down to your waist and then the whole part just drop off because it's too heavy or you have a hole. So I find where it starts. I stick the needle through there. And it's just like sewing, This is usually why it costs so much to do a repair on someone's hair when they came in for maintenance. Because you cost them being a loctician to a seamstress. So I ain't mad at the folks when they charge. But if you're able to do it yourself, you can repair your hair sooner and it'll just look a little better. Because I'm not a fan of the split locks. They were starting to get on my nerves. But I really didn't have time until now to take care of it. And you just tie it, just like this. I'll cut this part off. Try not to cut your lock. And we're sewing that thing back on. And I just go. And so when I put the thread in it and then I 2-strand twist it, I don't know why. I don't know why. It just makes me feel better. And I do that, make sure the thread doesn't get caught up in there. I'm going to try to get that 2-strand twist to go all the way to the bottom because that's where your thread is going to end. You don't want it hanging out because that's going to store it together. You don't want the what are they called? The phantom twin. So I put a clip on it instead of rubber band so it's easy to drop when I get to the end. And then just go to work. I try to go through the actual thread, like the strand, so that way it's going through both of them. If you're sensitive or having kind of like pink blood vessels or something like that, please just go ahead and put on a knitting thumb or something, whatever those things called, because I did poke myself a couple of times. I don't want nobody getting hurt. Just taking care of your hair. And make sure you put it all the way through. One thing I wanted to show is how to address the frizziness that's already in the lock hair. Hopefully it's showing. So I don't really put the crochet into this because it's already 2-stranded twist. So this is a joined lock. These are 2 locks that's been joined for a while because I can see that they're already kind of locking right here together. So if I put the crochet in there, I feel like it's going to just unravel the 2-strand. It's going to be a mess. So what I do is when I'm coming down with the sewing needle, I pull that hair down the lock. And so when the string comes over it, it pulls the hair down, like pulls it straight to the lock. And that's how I take care of the hair that's hanging out. Below the growth. You just take your time with it. That's why it's hard to repair. And again, that's why I'm supposed to be charging all this money, because this stuff does take time. It does look cleaner in the end, but it does take time, especially if you're doing it right. I could go a lot faster and have it looking crazy, and you wouldn't really know because it's in the back, but I like to run my hair up too, so I try to give all my locks love. And as you see, the hair is just going right up